Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I'm going to be unboxing a knife that I have wanted to take a look at for so long, and I have a feeling you guys know exactly what it is. This did not come from a manufacturer, it did not come from a retailer. This came from a viewer, an awesome viewer named Derek. Derek actually sent me a ton of stuff that I have been desperately wanting to look at, and it's just hard to obtain all this stuff, but he sent it all in one box, which is amazing, but this one definitely needs its own upload. So thank you so much to Derek, really cool. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Now, this knife is very controversial, and most of the time I try not to judge until I get my hands on things. This is a Benchmade. It's not in a Benchmade box because, again, it's owned by a viewer, and I don't know what they did with the box, but this is something that people have been talking about for a long time, and I gotta admit, as a fan of Benchmade, I want to make that clear, right? They didn't send this, so I don't have to say this, but I am a fan of Benchmade. Even if they sent that, I don't have to, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying here. I like Benchmade knives, but it's been really difficult to accept the pricing lately as somebody who regularly buys expensive knives. So, yeah, let's open this up and take a look. I figured out what this was because I got to here, and I realized, there's the Benchmade. This has to be what it is. Now, right off the bat, unless I'm mistaken, but I can feel the texturing, this feels quite a bit smaller than what I was expecting, and that's knowing the specs from the website. Am I correct? Yes, I am. Okay, this is the Benchmade Narrows. It does open smoothly. A little bit of a different style here. I'm very curious about this. This was the area that I wasn't super sure about. And I, basically just because I was too lazy to read. Whoa, we got to get that back down to dimmer. Okay. I think, sorry, I'm bumping the camera. I believe this is still operating on Omega springs. Is that the case? Yeah, I feel like I can see. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to take this apart yet. I want to get some confirmation. This is something that's been used and carried by somebody, which is actually great. I thought maybe they're doing something different, but the only difference that I can see is that we have these little tabs here instead of thumb studs. So Benchmade knives are made in the USA. This is a titanium knife, and it's a very thin blade stock. So this is like a, I was reading about the listing on Blade HQ, and they really sell it as like, it's like the Bug Out, but it's titanium, and it's, it's M390. Great. Man, with the website on there. Okay, let's weigh it. So this is these are all the claims to fame here. It's a full-size knife, full titanium at 2.4 ounces. So ratios are very good, right? It's an ambidextrous knife, and it is very easy to operate. That's fine. I'm going to measure it here real quick. I want to give the actual specs and everything. The overall length of the Narrows comes in at just shy of 8 inches, 7.9 inches. So what is the deal? If maybe you're out of the loop and you're like, why is it so controversial, right? It looks like a nice, thin, American-made titanium knife. And you know what? It is. In fact, the lockup feels solid. There's no lock stick or anything. And even as a user, that blade looks maybe just slightly off, right? But it is a user. Yeah, there's a couple of nicks there. He's used it. What's the controversial part? The price tag. This, brace yourselves, this is a $522 knife. Now, the price of everything has gone up, right? And I don't want to get into that discussion, but I have accepted, as a knife reviewer who handles just being real, I handle way more than the average person. And I handle things that I think are incredible prices given that the price has gone up. I handle things that are manufactured in China, things that are manufactured in the USA, Japan, Italy, right? Poland, all over the place. So I have a good idea of competition and pricing. This feels, despite being a well-made product, and it is thin and lightweight, and that's great if you like it, right? This, I've been waiting to make this to actually handle it before I say this. This doesn't feel like anything that should be even remotely close to that price tag. I thought maybe there's a sliver of a chance, right? I was fighting it because I like Benchmade knives. I really do. But I thought maybe there's something there that helps justify that price tag. And now that I've handled it, I gotta be honest. No, I don't understand. Listen, I'll put an affiliate link in this in the description. You can go and buy this, and if you didn't know how my affiliate link works, if you use my link and you buy this knife, I will make a commission. But just after handling it, this feels like something that should just be maybe, titanium M390 manufactured largely, I think almost entirely in the USA, which is not the same for every company, right? So number one, we can't compare to, insert whatever Chinese company using titanium and M390. That's fine. If that's what you want to spend your money on, you perfectly, they make some great knives. There's lots of companies making great knives, but those factually cost less to make, right? So Benchmade is manufacturing this stuff in the USA. So you have to accept that these are not going to be the same. Even if they're exactly the same in terms of materials, we cannot expect Benchmade to be pumping things out like this and slapping a $250 price tag on it. It's just not doable, right? But $350, $375, somewhere in there, that's more what it feels like, no more than $400 at the very max. And even then, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, had they dropped this knife at $399, you still would have had a huge problem, right? So there is a little bit of they're in kind of a tight spot there because USA manufacturing, when it's real, when it's like full on, because not every company that's making their knives in the USA is making as much of the knife in the USA, right? If a company's making 60% of the knife in the USA and 40% somewhere else, I think they can still claim US manufacturing. I'm not really sure exactly how that works, and don't reference me here, right? But as far as I know, Benchmade is largely making the entirety of the knife in the USA. So that is expensive. It is. It's something that, you just gotta understand. But does it justify a $522 price tag? No. This is cool. It's nice, but listen, we got Chris Reeve, we've got Hinder, we've got Les George. Les George, for example, is making wonderful full USA, and it's so easy to determine the amount of work that's going into those knives, right? There's excess polishing, there's excess feeling of quality action. Bevels and things feel smoother, nicer. Everything feels more like there's just so much more effort going into it, right? Specifically, the VECP button lock is wow, right? What does that thing come in at? $450? Those are smaller batch, much more hands-on, right? That's one example, but I've got plenty. I review a lot of knives. I really wanted to get this in hand and say, hey, now hold on a second. There's something else here. There's more here than meets the eye. But my first impressions of this knife, and again, I'm very appreciative of Derek sending this so that I can look at it and tell you guys. No, the price tag is absurd. It's not just overpriced. It's way too high. Way too high. And I haven't been to Benchmade's factory. I haven't talked with anybody specifically about the exact costs that go into I haven't. But let's just set up a scenario where I do that and I find out, holy moly, that thing just really is that expensive to make. All right, well, then I guess it's just for nobody, right? And that happens sometimes. Products can be created in a way that is just really, really expensive, and they price themselves completely out of any desirable corner of the market. And I think the Narrows is an example of that, like that peak where people go, no, Because at $522, I can't tell you guys, if you watch my channel, you watch, I don't know, countless other channels, we have so many choices. If you're going to spend that type of money in 2024, you have so many choices. So many. You can find them on my channel. You don't have to. You can find them anywhere. But, oh my gosh. You know, Spartan Harzy's right there. That's full tie. You can get at Umnumzan for around that price. A Chris Reeve Umnumzan. It's first impressions. I'm going to carry it and I'm going to use it and I'll give you guys my final thoughts in the review, but it's just extremely unimpressive. You know, it's a good knife. It'd be a cool knife at $375. Like that'd honestly be the label I'd give it, right? Just first impressions. Cool knife, definitely a good user, obviously compact and very easy to manipulate. It's all there, right? It's all there. The problem is that we can find this level of quality in so many other places on the internet, or even better quality, more premium. I mean, at this price tag, you're definitely not just buying a tool. You're buying something special. You're buying something that's capable as a tool, but you're also buying a lot. You should expect a lot more. Even if that a lot more doesn't necessarily translate to utility, right? The people spending money at this price point should expect more. This is barely hitting the mark at $350, $375 versus its real, not Chinese competition. I'm talking American production competition, right? Honestly, this makes a lot of like underwhelming zero tolerance knives from the last few years look incredible. And ZT has not been, I mean, Kershaw's been doing great, right? But ZT hasn't really been doing anything special, but honestly, that's honestly that's how I feel. So, if Benchmade is watching this video, I think you guys have made some incredible products over the year. I think you currently make some incredible products. This is just wild. I just am, bewilderment is the right word. That might even be in the thumbnail. Thank you so much to Derek for sending this in. I will review this. It might take just a little bit, but wow. I can't remember the last time that I was this like specifically underwhelmed. That's going to be pretty much it for today's unboxing, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.